Today we have 33 locations, 29 tunnels, some self-serve, full-serve car washes, in-bay automatics. We pretty much have everything. Part of what we do in our car washes is we try to differentiate our washes from the competition, not making them look the same or even perform the same. We were always a company that focused on production, and we built our car washes to wash a lot of cars. Today, what I'm going to show you is one of our newest locations. It's been open a little more than a year in Half Moon, New York. Just opened actually Valentine's Day last year. It's a 160-foot exterior tunnel, which is typical of most of our exterior locations. We're on about 1.7 acres. We have 3 tellers and 23 free vacuums. At the entrance, we use LPR, and we're reading the front license plates. At some of our locations, we actually read the rear and the front, and we also have RFID. This happens to be a MicroLogic point of sale system. We got some nice digital marketing there showing the packages we offer. We do man our locations at the tellers, trying to upsell folks to buy the unlimited packages. On the way in, our attendants are using paddles. We find that helped increase production. That's our conveyor right there. That's our podium that we build. So we have the point of sale surveillance systems, no pileups. We're applying some bug spray during the spring and the summer months. We got a wireless sending system that we use. So that when we send the car, we have a wireless system. So that we found has really helped production. And this is our heavy duty conveyor. It's actually based on the old Bob Hodge conveyor system, which is known to be one of the most heavy duty conveyors ever built in the industry. Next, we're moving on to the pre-soak. So we went prepless a few years ago, and we're applying pre-soak on the front of the car with some banana foamers. We got CTA for the chemical tire applicators there, side of the car. To really clean the back ends, we have a really great rear pre-soak applicator to really get into the nooks and crannies and help clean the back ends of cars. We use top brushes to clean the top of the car instead of mitter curtains. And we have one of the top brushes mounted backwards to go down the back of the car, and one's mounted regularly. Part of the prepless system too is we're blasting the side of the car with 0-degree nozzles at about 800 to 1,000 PSI to get into the wheel wells and on the bottom part of the car before we move into our AVW wraparound brushes. The wraparound brushes, we're actually monitoring the motors. Those are electrically driven. We can feel the car touch the wraparound. So the wraparound brushes, we set very aggressively so we can clean the back end of the car more effectively. Because the bearings are pitched so aggressively for the back of the car, we have a system with a proportional air regulator that can increase the air pressure on the front to help it get off the front more gracefully. We come down the side of the car and we bump out a little bit around the mirrors so we don't flip the mirrors. Then we come back in for washing pressure. And then on the back end of the car, we release nearly all the air pressure all the way down to 0. And we go across the back really aggressively. Our control system actually looks back at the last 10 minutes of business. And if we're getting busier, we slowly increase the conveyor speed. And on the busiest days, we're running at 200 cars an hour. We also have a front retract feature and a rear retract feature. So if you got a pesky rear wheel on the back of the car like this one, you'll see that this is being held off the back so it doesn't go across and hit that tire. Next, we're moving into our hot wax application. That's a high pressure spinning mirror rinse. So we're starting to rinse the mirrors. One of the things I think we do really well in our company is rinse the side mirrors really well. So now we're moving into the final rinsing area. And we chose to use high pressure rinsing to get into the nooks and crannies, especially on cars with roof racks. Those are following wheel blasters. Those have been popular too, especially with a belt for a conveyor where the wheels aren't spinning. And we also have a nozzle there that's getting into the wheel wells. This is actually technology from Germany that Dr. Renning from Mr. Wash, one of the most successful operations in the world, allowed us to bring that over and make that. It automatically adjusts to your conveyor speed also. That's an example of a rear window rinse. We can detect high vehicles and spray the back under the louvers of the back window to really get more effective rinsing on the back of the car. This is our final rinse system. It's really pretty simple because it allows us, like those are our 2 RO rain bars. Everything's adjustable. So we got ceramic on there, the drying agent, and the RO spot-free rinse. And here's an example of, we have a small manifold that sprays the mirrors with RO water. So the blower room in our locations, we provide the framework for this AVW drying system. You know, we're putting tire shine on also. And one of the things we do too is we create a high pressure like air against the side window, and we reverse the nozzle so it's facing backwards, and it ricochets air off the side window across the mirror. So that helps us get, you know, really dry mirrors also. So this is just showing an example of our equipment. So the first one is the reclaim system, and all of our equipment, it's built for ground up locations or remodels. So everything we build can fit through a standard equipment room door. Our reclaim unit uses a product to kill odor, and we also aerate the reclaim. We have one pump for our reclaim system. It goes through a particle filter to produce really clean water, so we're not clogging nozzles. There's the tank that does the absolute filtration. At the end of the night, it back flushes itself. So our employees aren't dealing with this system at all. It's all automatic and takes care of itself. So we make a dispenseIT chemical dispensing system. We're showing a 20 function system right here. So we have a Grundfos high pressure pump to charge that manifold with 200 PSI. And we just get great reliability. It's all stainless steel construction. The thing's just a beast. And everything on that panel is over-the-counter stuff. There's nothing proprietary. You can buy those parts anywhere or from us. It's just been a great addition to our line of products. We also make probably like the heaviest pump stations in the industry. So that's a direct drive pump there with a coupling where we've had actually 0 failures since using those back in like 2016 or so. This is showing a double pump system. We make a single and then the plastic tank on top. So we've got high pressure reclaim, high pressure rinse, the wheel blaster, and we actually do high pressure undercarriage flush. We can also mount high pressure solenoids along it, so you can have many different functions on the pumping system, depending on like top, side. We can customize that thing for you. Now, I was describing, this is the on-demand RO unit, and this is our standard flow system. We make a 3-membrane unit that would be high flow. At some of our locations, we even supply the spot-free rinse for the self-service car wash and the in-bay automatics. I was mentioning before, our RO unit that we make is meant to produce enough water to keep up with our production. So the two RO rain bars and the mirror rinse, it's probably a little more than 5 gallons a car. Our unit does not need any storage, so it's only making water while you're washing cars. And it modulates the production and can increase it to maximum on real busy days. And then when the unit stops at the end of the day or during a break, it flushes the membranes with RO water. So by putting RO water back in the membranes, it helps extend the life of the RO membranes. It's really the best practice for RO units is to keep them healthy, have the membranes last a long time by putting RO back into them. But now the other thing about the reject water is we take the reject water while it's making water is only when we're washing cars, and we use it in our underbody and our wheel blaster. We use the reject water in that. And a lot of people use the reject water from RO units in all kinds of different reasons. We're a UL panel shop, so we have our motor control center in this car wash where we have our tunnel controller. And again, our entire wash process is electric, and except for the conveyor, we chose to stay hydraulic for that guy. We went from 35 feet of motor control center to our new design. We're down to 14 feet wide for a tunnel that big. At this location, we have 23 vacuums. And, as everybody knows, the Express Exterior model with the free vacuums does a really nice job. Also pointing out our landscaping. We actually have 2 greenhouses. We grow all our own plants from scratch and have a landscape crew, and we plant our own flowers. And the one thing about our sites too is we use sod when we open them up, and we irrigate everything. So everything's automatically irrigated. And the biggest key to keeping those plants doing well is we fertilize them once a week at least. Anytime you guys can come visit us, and and not only are you seeing our facilities and our equipment, we would tour you through our offices, HR, finance, IT. We would open the doors with open arms and show you what we do. And we really mean it. We love helping people.